Me and Marcia, we gave everybody a nice little teaser, a little sneak peek at the new Top Gun Maverick movie when we were in location. And shout out to everybody at TikTok, because that has blown up to almost about a few thousand people that came out to listen to what we had to say. Little 30 seconds can go a long way. But now, this is the official Top Gun Maverick review. And I'm going to give you a little start with this. First and foremost, Tom's movie earned about $190 million domestically. I'm telling you, you're looking at possibly $540 million globally this movie is going to make. And I'll tell you this, to be honest, it's all worth it. It has surpassed the original Top Gun movie. The action in the movie, there's no CGIs here, there's no special effects. Tom implored on Bruckheimer to make sure that these actors were trained to be pilots. These actors were also trained to learn how to work with cinematography and angles and the cameras that they all had in their cockpits. They actually had cameras in their cockpits, and they had to know the essence of filmmaking. So Tom not only was an actor, but he was also a teacher to these other actors on how to make this movie look and feel realistic, like you're in the cockpit. And he pulled no punches. The special effects were great. The flights of these F-14 Tomcats, plus all the more advanced airplanes that they had there, were just awesome. I mean, there was not 1 minute where you could just say, oh, this was going kind of flat. Now, I do have to add that they did add a little romance component in there. I think it was just kind of thrown in there at the last minute. It developed, but it didn't take away from the main point of the movie, which was, Maverick is back and he's on in a sense, his last ride. This is his last chance to get to his state of infamy, for a lack of a better term. But the one thing that I liked, and when me and Marcia were at the sneak peek, that a lot of people liked, is how they represented the Navy very well. It was a lot of clips of the different bases that they used in California, as well as different departments, for lack of a better term, that were represented in the movie. It was not all about jet fighters. You have the people, the officers on the deck of the aircraft carriers. You've seen how hard they work just to try to get these planes out and to try to bring them back in safely. So kudos to Bruckheimer and Cruise, and also to the United States Navy for giving the opportunity for Tom to get into this. And a little factoid here from what I heard. Each fighter jet that they used was at least a $10,000 rental per day.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Yes. A fighter jet that was used in the Top Gun movies, all the ones they had, they were at least $10,000 a day rentals. Yeah.
And when were those planes built?
There were various planes, some that are more modern. I can't really get into it because, of course, security and everything. But they are very modern planes that are out there as we speak, defending our skies. And then they had a couple classics. Let's put it in that term.
All right.
But
let me help you out with a little perspective from what I understand.
Quickly, please.
Listeners, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
The F-14 Tomcat was built in like the mid-'80s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You mean telling me that motherfucker still rents for $10,000 goddamn dollars a day?
I think so. It looks like they had, from reports, that's what the goal.
I mean, it will be almost 40 years old in a couple years. It's already 30 years old now.
Mm-hmm. But
it
remember,
still rents.
Remember,
how much you think it should rent for, man? I'm just curious.
Remember, they got. Remember, there's other, like, you got Hornets and other styles of aircraft that are there that are more modern too. So that's probably going to ante up the price too. So, like I said, this is just a report that was.
Oh, you mean the cost of all of them together, not just the one plane?
No. I think from what I read, it was per plane, per aircraft, 10 G's. rental.
Been in the wrong goddamn business all this time.
Well, it happens sometimes.
But you gotta remember too, that didn't include the pilot that had to fly it either, man.
Mm-hmm. Remember, there's a lot of training now. All the actors did do their flying. They did all their flying and everything like that. And at the same time, you can't just walk up to the Department of Defense and say, "Hey, I'm just going to borrow your planes." Mr. Cruise had to create a report stating what he was trying to do with this movie. And he had to actually go in front of a committee and say, hey, this is what I'm trying to do with the movie. This is the report I want to give you to show what we're going to do and what we need. And they green-lighted him, obviously. So, but you'll see in the movie just the different aircrafts that they use. It's not just a Tomcat. They have more modern planes. So, so don't think it's just one type from 40 years ago. There's a couple variations of different aircraft there. It's a lot of modern stuff. But the action was great. The plot and the script and everything, it was solid. Everything was good. Yes, it's that good old Americana thing that's going on there, but they took it to the next level where they really represented the Navy as a whole, not just micromanaged it and said they were just they're just airplane fighters. There's a whole big spectrum that's in the Navy more than what you just see in the old '86 movie of Top Gun. Excuse me. So, in my opinion, Top Gun Maverick gets 4.5 stars. Not 5. Right. Not 5. Just because of that little romance thing, I was like, okay. Everybody was more in gear and in tune to just the aspect of how the action was and everything. It's great. It's well worth it. I think you can definitely go and sit down and chill and watch that movie. It doesn't have to be at the theater. You can do Fire Stick. You can do other means, which we really can't discuss here. But it's a good movie to watch. So definitely Top Gun. 4.5 stars. Forgive me, Tom. It's not 5, but you did one hell of a job. Mr. Bruckheimer, you did a great job. So kudos to everybody. You're making that money. Doing a great job. Everybody's going to love that movie.